Hey everyone, let me ask you something. How many times have you looked around and thought, why are they ahead? Why do they win while I'm stuck in the same place? Listen to me. Success is not luck. It's not magic. It's strategy. The people who rise to the top, the ones who dominate in their field, in their life, in their relationships, they are playing a different game. Emotional intelligence is the secret weapon of high achievers. It's what separates those who react impulsively from those who respond strategically. Most people let their emotions dictate their actions, but the ones who truly outsmart everyone else understand that emotions are tools, not obstacles. They don't suppress their emotions, they master them. When challenges arise, they don't panic, lash out, or shut down. They pause, assess, and take control of the situation with a level head. This is the difference between making decisions that move you forward and making choices that set you back. People who have high emotional intelligence recognize that every emotion carries information. Instead of seeing fear as a reason to stop, they see it as a signal that they need to prepare. Instead of letting anger dictate their response, they use it as energy to push forward with clarity. They don't waste time being consumed by resentment or frustration. They channel those emotions into productive action. This gives them a psychological edge because while others are getting caught up in their feelings, they are using their emotions to fuel their next move. But emotional intelligence isn't just about controlling your own emotions. It's about understanding and influencing others. The ability to read people, to understand what drives them, to anticipate their reactions. This is what gives the upper hand in any situation. The person who can manage relationships with precision, who can navigate conflicts without losing composure, who can persuade and inspire, this is the person who wins. Most people communicate based on their own emotions, but those who are truly intelligent emotionally communicate based on the emotions of others. They listen deeply, they observe, they pay attention to the unspoken signals, and they adapt their approach accordingly. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that logic alone is enough to win in life. But human beings are emotional creatures. We make decisions based on how we feel, and then we justify them with logic. The smartest people in the room are the ones who understand this dynamic. They know how to make others feel understood, valued, and respected. They know how to align their message with what resonates emotionally. This is why some people can deliver the same idea, but only one of them gets the buy-in. It's not just about what you say, it's about how you make people feel when you say it. Self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence. It's the ability to step outside of yourself and observe your thoughts, feelings, and reactions objectively. Most people go through life operating on autopilot, reacting to situations without understanding why, but those who develop deep self-awareness can identify their triggers, recognize their patterns, and adjust in real time. This prevents them from being controlled by impulses and allows them to make intentional choices. Self-regulation is the next level. It's the ability to manage emotions instead of being ruled by them. When pressure mounts, when stress levels rise, when things don't go according to plan, how you respond in those moments determines everything. Those with high emotional intelligence don't allow temporary emotions to drive permanent decisions. They have the discipline to pause, assess, and choose the most effective course of action. They understand that in high-stakes situations, the person who stays calm has the advantage. Social awareness is the skill that allows you to read the room, pick up on unspoken cues, and understand the underlying emotions driving people's behavior. It's the ability to see beyond words and into intentions, fears, and motivations. This skill makes you an effective communicator, a powerful negotiator, and a leader that people trust. Most conflicts, misunderstandings, and missed opportunities happen because people fail to see beyond their own perspective. The ones who outsmart everyone else are those who take the time to understand not just what people are saying, but what they actually mean. Relationship management is where emotional intelligence becomes a true superpower. Whether in business, leadership, or personal life, success depends on your ability to build and maintain strong connections. People want to work with, support, and follow those who make them feel seen and heard. Those who can inspire, influence, and bring people together will always have an advantage over those who rely solely on their skills or intelligence. The ability to diffuse tension, resolve conflicts, and create environments where people thrive is an asset that sets the best apart from the rest. Emotional intelligence is not something you are born with, it's something you develop. It requires intentional effort, self-reflection, and practice. The more you train yourself to observe your emotions without being controlled by them, to understand others deeply, and to navigate interactions with precision, the more powerful you become. Most people make decisions based on what feels good in the moment or what they hope will work out. They get caught up in emotions, make choices impulsively, and then wonder why they keep running into roadblocks. The people who truly outsmart everyone else don't think like this. They don't make decisions based on wishful thinking or fleeting emotions. They think in probabilities, not possibilities. They analyze situations based on risk, reward, and likelihood, making choices that consistently put them ahead. Possibilities are endless, but probabilities tell the truth. Just because something can happen doesn't mean it's likely to happen. A person who understands this doesn't waste time chasing long-shot opportunities while ignoring the more strategic moves in front of them. They don't sit around hoping that things will change. They assess what's actually probable and position themselves accordingly. This kind of thinking creates a massive advantage because while others are guessing, they are calculating. Most people let emotions cloud their judgment. They want something to be true, so they convince themselves it is. They take unnecessary risks because they're emotionally invested in a specific outcome. The smartest individuals remove emotion from decision-making. They step back, analyze the situation objectively, and make choices based on data, patterns, and probabilities. This doesn't mean they don't take risks. It means they take smart risks. They look at the odds, they prepare for different scenarios, and they move forward with a strategy instead of blind hope. One of the biggest mistakes people make is overestimating low probability events while underestimating high probability ones. They obsess over the rare chance of massive success while ignoring the small, consistent actions that actually lead to winning. They chase get-rich-quick schemes instead of investing in steady, proven paths. They fear unlikely worst-case scenarios while failing to prepare for the more common obstacles that actually slow them down. The people who rise above the rest see things differently. They focus on what is likely to get them the results they want, and they don't waste energy on distractions. Every decision carries a set of possible outcomes, and those who think in probabilities evaluate these outcomes before acting. They don't just ask, what if this works? They ask, what are the chances that this will work based on past patterns and logical assessment? They play the long game, making small, calculated moves that compound over time. This is how they consistently win while others fall into the trap of chasing shortcuts that rarely pay off. Another key to thinking in probabilities is recognizing patterns. The people who outsmart everyone else don't just rely on isolated information. They look for trends, past results, and recurring behaviors. They understand that success leaves clues and failure follows predictable patterns. If a certain type of investment has consistently failed over time, they don't convince themselves that this time will be different. If a person has repeatedly shown they are unreliable, they don't expect them to suddenly change. They use historical data to guide their future actions. This way of thinking also applies to people and relationships. Instead of assuming the best about someone based on hope, those who think in probabilities assess behavior. If someone has consistently been dishonest, the probability of them changing overnight is low. If someone is proven to be hardworking and disciplined, the probability of them succeeding in a new challenge is high. This mindset prevents them from being fooled, manipulated, or caught off guard by predictable situations. Thinking in probabilities doesn't mean avoiding big moves. It means making big moves intelligently. It means asking, what are the odds that this action will lead to the result I want, and adjusting accordingly. It means stacking small, high-probability wins instead of gambling on low-odds miracles. Those who operate this way always seem to be one step ahead because they are making moves based on logic while everyone else is reacting emotionally. This level of thinking also allows for better adaptability. When things don't go as planned, they don't panic because they've already considered alternative outcomes. They don't get overly attached to one path. They adjust based on the probabilities of success in the current moment. This flexibility allows them to recover faster, pivot when necessary, and continue making forward progress while others are stuck in frustration. When you start thinking in probabilities instead of possibilities, you eliminate wasted effort. You stop chasing what is unlikely and start executing on what is most likely to get you ahead. You become more strategic, more precise, and more effective in everything you do. The smartest people in the world don't leave their success to chance. They calculate it. Most people go through life accepting the first answer they find. They react instead of thinking, assuming that the way things appear is the way they truly are. But the people who consistently outsmart everyone else don't settle for surface-level thinking. They know that the quality of their life is determined by the quality of the questions they ask. Instead of taking things at face value, they dig deeper. They challenge assumptions, question limitations, and seek perspectives that others overlook. The difference between someone who struggles and someone who thrives isn't intelligence. It's the ability to ask the right questions. When most people face a challenge, they ask, "Why is this happening to me?" The people who outsmart everyone else ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of saying, "I don't know what to do," they ask, "What's the next best step I can take right now?" The questions they choose to focus on shift their mindset, redirect their energy, and open up opportunities that others miss. Questions determine focus, and focus determines results. When a person asks, "What if I fail?" their mind starts searching for reasons why things won't work. When someone asks, "How can I make this work?" their mind immediately starts searching for solutions. The human brain is wired to answer whatever question it is given. If a person constantly asks disempowering questions, they will find disempowering answers. If they ask powerful questions, they will get powerful solutions. The smartest people understand this and use it to their advantage. Another key to using strategic questions is understanding that assumptions are dangerous. Most people operate within a limited set of beliefs about what is possible. They assume that just because something has always been done a certain way, that's the only way it can be done. The people who outthink everyone else don't just accept things as they are. They ask, "Is this really the best way? What if there's a smarter, faster, or more effective way to do this?" Every major breakthrough, every innovation, every game-changing strategy starts with someone asking a better question than the rest. The most successful people question everything, including themselves. They don't just assume they are right. They ask, "What if I'm wrong? What am I missing? Who has a different perspective that I haven't considered?" This level of thinking prevents blind spots, reduces costly mistakes, and leads to deeper understanding. Most people get defensive when challenged, but the truly intelligent ones welcome it because they see it as an opportunity to refine their thinking. Another advantage of leveraging strategic questions is the ability to influence and persuade others. People make decisions based on emotion and logic, and the right questions can guide their thinking in a way that aligns with a desired outcome. Instead of telling someone what to do, a skilled individual asks a question that leads them to the answer on their own. When someone reaches a conclusion themselves, they are far more likely to act on it than if they are simply told what to do. In negotiations, influence, and leadership, questions are far more powerful than statements. Instead of saying, "This is a great idea," a sharp thinker asks, "How do you see this idea benefiting you?" Instead of arguing against someone's resistance, they ask, "What would need to change for this to make sense for you?" The right question can shift someone's perspective instantly, making them feel understood and open to new possibilities. Self-awareness is another area where strategic questions make a massive difference. Most people never stop to analyze their own patterns, habits, and motivations. They react to life without questioning why they do what they do. The ones who outsmart everyone else constantly reflect. They ask, "Why did I react that way? What belief is driving this behavior? How can I reframe this situation to make it work in my favor?" These questions allow them to grow, adapt, and refine their mindset while others stay stuck in repeating cycles. Another critical aspect of asking better questions is applying them to decision-making. When faced with a choice, most people ask, "What do I want right now?" While the truly strategic thinkers ask, "What decision will benefit me the most in the long run?" They don't just think about immediate gratification, they think in terms of second-order consequences. They ask, "If I make this choice, what are the likely outcomes down the road?" This way of thinking prevents short-term mistakes and sets them up for long-term success. Most problems that seem unsolvable are simply problems that haven't been approached with the right question yet. Instead of getting frustrated, the people who consistently find solutions ask, "What's another way to look at this? Who has solved a similar problem before? What assumptions am I making that might be incorrect?" This keeps their minds open and allows them to see opportunities that others overlook. Mastering the art of asking strategic questions is one of the most powerful ways to gain an edge in life. It shifts focus, uncovers solutions, enhances influence, and leads to breakthroughs that others never reach. Those who use this skill don't just think differently, they think ahead. Most people see failure as an end. They experience setbacks, and instead of analyzing them, they take them personally. They let failure define them, lower their confidence, and discourage them from trying again. The people who outsmart everyone else don't think this way. They don't see failure as a stop sign. They see it as data. They don't internalize mistakes as proof that they aren't good enough. They see them as valuable feedback, guiding them toward a better approach. Every successful person has faced failure, but the difference is in how they respond to it. Most people react emotionally, allowing frustration and disappointment to cloud their judgment. But those who consistently stay ahead, step back and assess the situation rationally. They ask, what went wrong? What can I learn from this? What adjustments do I need to make? Instead of dwelling on the fact that something didn't work, they extract the lesson and move forward with a better strategy. The ability to analyze failure without emotion is a skill that separates those who stay stuck from those who continuously improve. When something doesn't go as planned, most people assume they lack talent, intelligence, or luck. But the ones who win see it differently. They recognize that failure is simply a test, an opportunity to gather more information and refine their approach. They don't waste time complaining about what went wrong. They focus on what needs to change to get it right. Looking at failure as data removes the fear from the process. When a scientist conducts an experiment, they don't get discouraged if the first result isn't what they expected. They analyze the outcome, tweak the variables, and run the test again. This is exactly how the smartest individuals approach life. They don't expect to get everything right on the first try, but they know that with enough adjustments, they will find what works. This mindset also eliminates the tendency to take failure personally. Most people attach their self-worth to their success, so when they experience a setback, they internalize it as proof that they are not capable. The people who truly outsmart everyone else separate themselves from the result. They understand that failure is an external event, not a reflection of their value or potential. This allows them to stay confident, even when things don't go as planned. One of the biggest reasons people give up is because they are too focused on how failure makes them feel rather than what it is teaching them. They experience a setback, feel embarrassed or frustrated, and quit before they ever give themselves a chance to succeed. The most strategic thinkers bypass this emotional reaction and instead focus on extracting insights. They ask, what patterns am I noticing? What can I do differently next time? Where are the gaps in my approach? This kind of thinking ensures that every failure moves them closer to success. Those who turn setbacks into data also develop resilience. While others crumble under pressure, they get stronger with every challenge. They don't run from difficulties, they embrace them as opportunities to refine their skills, strategies, and mindset. They understand that setbacks are not detours, they are part of the process. Every time something doesn't work, they get one step closer to figuring out what does. This approach also allows for faster course correction. Most people repeat the same mistakes over and over because they never take the time to analyze them. They assume that working harder will solve the problem, but effort without strategy leads to burnout, not progress. The smartest individuals don't just work hard, they work smart. They study their failures with precision, make calculated adjustments, and move forward with a refined approach. Another advantage of seeing failure as data is that it removes hesitation. Many people are so afraid of failing that they never take action in the first place. They overthink, procrastinate, and stay stuck in analysis paralysis. But those who outsmart everyone else understand that action produces information. They know that the only way to truly figure out what works is to test, observe, and refine. Instead of waiting for the perfect plan, they take action, gather data, and improve as they go. Failure also exposes weaknesses, which is an opportunity for growth. Instead of being discouraged by what didn't work, the smartest individuals use it to identify the skills they need to develop, the knowledge they need to gain, and the areas where they need to improve. They don't avoid their weaknesses. They confront them head-on and turn them into strengths. Those who master this mindset gain an edge over everyone else because they are always learning, always improving, and always adapting. They don't dwell on the past. They focus on extracting insights, applying them, and moving forward with more precision than before. Every mistake, every misstep, every failed attempt becomes a stepping stone towards success. Most people allow distractions to dictate their actions. They start their day with a plan, but as soon as something unexpected happens, they lose focus. They get caught up in minor tasks, random notifications, and other people's demands, constantly reacting instead of executing. The people who outsmart everyone else operate differently. They protect their focus with intensity. They don't just manage their time, they guard their attention. They understand that their ability to concentrate on what truly matters is one of the greatest advantages they can have. In a world full of noise, the ability to focus is a superpower. Most people struggle to stay locked in on a task for more than a few minutes before their attention shifts. They check their phones, open another tab, or get distracted by something that seems urgent but isn't actually important. The ones who rise above everyone else don't let this happen. They train their minds to stay engaged, to go deeper into their work without allowing outside influences to pull them away. They know that deep focus leads to mastery, and mastery leads to dominance. One of the key differences between those who achieve greatness and those who stay stuck is their ability to say no. Most people say yes to everything, filling their schedules with obligations that drain their energy and scatter their attention. The smartest individuals are ruthless with their priorities. They don't let guilt or pressure dictate their time. They decide in advance what deserves their attention and eliminate everything else. If an opportunity or request does not align with their highest goals, they decline it without hesitation. Discipline is the foundation of strong focus. Most people wait until they feel like working before they commit their energy. But the most strategic thinkers don't rely on motivation. They design their environment to eliminate distractions. They set clear rules for themselves. They train their minds to push through boredom and discomfort because they understand that deep work requires effort. They don't expect focus to come naturally. They create the conditions that allow them to stay locked in. They also understand the power of momentum. Most people waste the first part of their day on meaningless tasks, scrolling through social media, checking emails, or handling other people's problems. The ones who win start their day with intention. They knock out their most important work first, before distractions can take over. They structure their time in a way that allows them to build momentum early, knowing that once they hit a productive rhythm, they can sustain it for hours. Another advantage of protecting focus is the ability to outwork and outthink the competition. Most people spend their days in a constant state of mental fragmentation, switching between tasks, struggling to make progress. The ones who truly get ahead work with such depth and precision that they produce results in half the time. They are not just busy, they are effective. Their ability to stay present with their work allows them to create at a level that others simply cannot match. This level of focus also sharpens problem-solving skills. Most people give up too quickly when faced with challenges because they haven't trained their minds to work through difficult problems. The ones who outsmart everyone else develop the ability to sit with complex issues, to think through solutions, and to push through mental resistance. They don't get frustrated when things take time. They don't seek instant gratification. They know that breakthroughs come from sustained effort, from staying locked in until clarity emerges. They also protect their mental energy. Most people drain themselves by constantly engaging in unnecessary conversations, consuming low-quality information, and letting negative thoughts run in the background. The smartest individuals are highly selective about what they expose their minds to. They do not allow distractions to dictate their mood, their energy, or their focus. They control what enters their mental space, filtering out anything that does not serve their highest performance. Focus is not just about avoiding distractions. It's about being intentional with time, energy, and priorities. Most people live in reaction mode, constantly responding to the world around them. The ones who win are proactive. They set boundaries. They schedule time for deep work. They minimize decisions that don't matter so they can reserve their mental energy for what does. They don't just work hard, they work with precision, ensuring that every ounce of effort is directed toward results. Those who master their focus gain an unbeatable edge, because while everyone else is scattered, distracted, and overwhelmed, they are locked in, moving forward with clarity and execution. They understand that success is not about doing more, it's about doing the right things with the highest level of concentration every single day. Most people assume success is about raw talent, luck, or having the right connections. They think the people who are at the top were born with some advantage they don't have. But those who truly outsmart everyone else know the truth. Success is a game of psychology. It's not about what you have, it's about how you think. The way you interpret challenges, the way you handle setbacks, and the way you train your mind to operate under pressure all determine whether you win or lose. Mindset is everything. The difference between someone who rises and someone who stays stuck is the way they approach obstacles. Most people see challenges as proof that they aren't good enough, that maybe they weren't meant to succeed. But the people who dominate in life don't see problems as barriers. They see them as tests, as opportunities to sharpen their skills and prove what they're capable of. They don't ask, why is this happening to me? They ask, how can I use this to my advantage? One of the biggest psychological advantages is emotional control. Most people let their emotions dictate their actions. When they feel discouraged, they quit. When they feel overwhelmed, they procrastinate. When they feel frustrated, they lash out or make impulsive decisions. The smartest individuals don't operate this way. They train themselves to separate their emotions from their actions. They understand that feelings are temporary, but the choices they make in those moments have lasting consequences. Instead of acting based on how they feel, they act based on what will move them forward. Another key psychological strength is the ability to detach from failure. Most people internalize failure, making it part of their identity. When they fail at something, they believe they are a failure. The people who truly get ahead don't think this way. They see failure as an event, not a reflection of their worth. They analyze it, extract the lesson, and move on. They don't waste time in self-doubt or self-pity because they know that every great success was built on a foundation of setbacks that were used as stepping stones. Resilience is another psychological advantage that separates the best from the rest. Most people give up when things get tough because they haven't trained themselves to push through discomfort. The ones who dominate are relentless. They don't let temporary setbacks shake them because they understand that pressure is a privilege. It's what forges strength. They embrace the grind, knowing that the ability to endure what others won't is what allows them to achieve what others can't. The ability to adapt is another critical piece of the psychological game. Most people get stuck in their ways, refusing to adjust when things aren't working. They hold on to outdated beliefs, ineffective strategies, and habits that no longer serve them. The people who consistently stay ahead don't resist change, they anticipate it. They keep their minds open, always looking for new angles, new approaches, and new ways to improve. They don't cling to the way things should be. They focus on what is and make strategic moves based on reality, not wishful thinking. The smartest individuals also have a different relationship with pressure. Most people shrink under stress, allowing fear and doubt to take over. But the ones who truly win know that pressure is a privilege. It's what separates those who take action from those who hesitate. They don't see pressure as something to avoid. They see it as something to harness. They use it to sharpen their focus, to fuel their determination, to bring out their best when it matters most. Instead of running from high-stakes situations, they put themselves in environments where they are forced to rise to the occasion. Another major psychological advantage is self-belief. Most people let external validation determine their confidence. They only feel capable when other people acknowledge their skills, when they get approval or recognition, but those who truly outsmart everyone else don't rely on that. Their belief in themselves is built internally. They trust in their ability to figure things out even when they don't have all the answers. They don't need someone else to tell them they are good enough. They decide that for themselves. This kind of thinking allows them to take bigger risks, to go after opportunities that others are too afraid to pursue. Most people hesitate because they are waiting for permission, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting until they feel ready. The smartest individuals understand that readiness is a lie. They take action before they feel completely prepared because they know that confidence is built through action, not before it. They also train themselves to focus on long-term wins instead of short-term emotions. Most people let immediate discomfort or fear dictate their choices. The ones who get ahead play the long game. They are willing to endure temporary discomfort if it means setting themselves up for future success. They don't seek instant gratification. They make decisions based on what will create the greatest advantage over time. Those who master the mental game control their reality. While others react to circumstances, they shape them. While others let doubt, fear, or frustration dictate their choices, they move with precision and confidence. They know that success is not just about skill or strategy. It's about having the mental edge that allows them to execute at the highest level, no matter what obstacles come their way.